Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be sharing with you how to cover up redness, rosacea, and any type of discoloration or acne marks that you have on your skin. This is a really simple foundation routine that you can do just to even out your skin tone and ensure everything looks flawless. I'm going to be featuring some of my new favorite products from Colorescience, specifically the All Calm Clinical Redness Corrector. This has an SPF 50 in it, which is crucial if you have rosacea.
You also have a chance to win a Colorescience All Calm Clinical Redness Corrector for yourself, so make sure you check out the description box down below to find out how to enter.
Preventing redness from happening always starts with skincare, so you want to make sure you're using a very gentle cleanser. One of my favorite gentle cleansers is the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, and this is dermatologist recommended. It's super sensitive and it's not going to aggravate your skin. Then you want to make sure you follow up with a moisturizer because this type of skin can tend to get really dry or irritated, or even if you don't have dryness. I'm typically oily, so my favorite one is the Paula Choice Resist Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. Again, this has SPF 50 in it, but this one is great because it just helps moisturize my skin without making me greasy, which is great to wear underneath makeup.
So I'm first starting out by using the Colorescience All Calm, and this is just a color correcting primer. So I rub it between my fingers to help warm it up because it's a pretty thick consistency, and it helps to neutralize the skin tone and just make everything look super even. It almost gives your face a little bit of coverage just because it makes your skin look so perfect that I feel like I need less foundation, which is great to avoid it from looking cakey, especially when you're really trying to cover up redness. It can tend to get cakey if you're using too many products, so I love how this just helps even everything out. I need to use less products afterwards, but it also has the SPF 50 in it, which is going to help protect your skin obviously from the sun to prevent it from getting even more red. So I wanted to show you an option if you don't need a lot of coverage. This is the Colorescience Tint Du Soleil, and it's basically like a tinted moisturizer. This also has SPF in it. This is great, especially for more mature skin if you don't really need a lot of coverage or if you don't have acne or anything. It's just a great overall, just light coverage foundation. But for this video, I'm going to actually show you how I do a more full coverage face. I'm using my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I'm mixing two shades so I can get the perfect shade to match me since I do use self-tanner. But I'm just using an e.l.f. brush just to apply this. I'll link all the brushes and products and stuff that I'm using on the blog post that goes with this video if you're interested in those. But it's really important that you have a clean brush. I find that if I'm using a brush that has old product on it, it can really just irritate my skin, and I feel like it tugs too much on my skin, which can cause more redness. So just having a really soft, clean brush. I would avoid using a sponge or anything that's just going to like tug too much on your skin. You can use like a beauty blender or like an e.l.f. blender sponge and just wet it. That's going to be great too if you have pretty dry skin, but I just prefer the brush because it's a lot quicker for me. But you just want to be careful. You can also use stippling motions if you don't want to tug too much on your skin and just make it more red or flaky or anything like that if you have dry skin. But I'm just kind of using those like stippling patting motion all over my face just to help even it out and just spread the foundation without causing any more redness. But I love how full coverage this foundation is. It's just one of my all-time favorites. It has SPF in this one as well, and it just holds up great on my oily skin. I don't have to reapply or anything like that. And sometimes I can even skip powder when I use this because it's just such great full coverage and just mattifies my face. If you have a lot of fine lines, wrinkles, or if you're older, especially for more mature skin, I wouldn't maybe recommend this one just because it can be a little bit drying if you do have pretty dry skin since it is so mattifying. I would go with something more like the Tint Du Soleil because it's very moisturizing and hydrating on your skin. Oh, and here I just went in with that lighter shade that I had and I applied that underneath my eyes. It's really going to help brighten up the face, especially if you have a lot of redness on your cheeks. You want to make sure your under eye area is very bright and even go like one shade lighter under your eyes with your concealer and stuff. So now I'm using the Colorescience Color Correcting Palette, and this is actually like a mineral, like almost cream to powder finish. It is a powder, but it has a very silky texture to it. I'm just using the brush it came with, and I'm picking up the peach shade, and I'm using that to correct the blue tones under my eyes. This is something I've been doing every day to just help give myself some more coverage with dark under eye circles. Like I said, if you do have a lot of redness on your skin, you obviously just want to help the under eye area look brighter as well, because that's just going to make your whole face look brighter overall. I'm also taking that lightest shade and going over any areas that tend to get red on me, especially around the nose and on the chin. The redness always tries to peek throughout the day, so that just helps correct it. Now I'm just using my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and I'm just going over top that powder just because the powder is a little bit dark to leave on its own, so I recommend using a concealer over top, or you could even apply the powder underneath your foundation or anything like that. Just blending that out with a dry e.l.f. sponge. Now I'm using my e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD setting powder, and I love this setting powder to use all over my face. It's translucent, so I don't have to worry about it darkening my face any or making it look more dull, but it just helps mattify everything. If you have dry skin, you could probably skip powder altogether, but I still recommend using a powder around your eyes just because that area can get like creasy and stuff. Now I'm using the Makeup Geek, this is the Sun-Kissed Fair Skin Bronzer, and I'm just using my Sigma Soft Angled Contour Brush. And this brush is awesome at applying contour because it's so easy. You don't have to be a pro or anything like that. If you're a beginner at makeup, you will definitely be able to contour with this brush because it's just so easy and blends out flawlessly. But when you have a lot of redness or rosacea, you want to make sure you focus your contour on the outside of your cheeks, so you don't want to bring anything too far onto the front of your cheeks, like near your nose, because that's just going to aggravate and cause more redness. But contouring is really important, especially when you're doing all this color correcting, because you're just evening out your skin tone and everything just looks kind of flat, so you want to make sure you go back in and add those shadows so your face doesn't just look round and flat, I guess. Now for blush, I'm just using the NYX Powder Blush in Peach, and I really like this color because it's not too red or too rosy. It's just a really nice light pink color. So if you have a light or a medium skin tone, this would be great. If you have a dark skin tone, then you might want to go a shade or so dark because this one is very light and natural, but you want to stay away from anything too shimmery or too red or too pink. And you also want to do that same thing with the contour and just focus it on the outer half of your cheekbone. You don't want to bring anything too close to your nose. You don't want to add too much redness there, but you can definitely still wear blush. I would just try to stick to the more natural and more matte ones, but overall I feel like you can wear any blush that you want, but if you really are trying to avoid any kind of redness, if you have a lot of trouble, then hopefully these tips will help. Now I'm just adding some highlighter. This is the Becca Radiant Glow. This is a new one from them. I'm just going to focus on the lighter shade in that little highlighter palette. I'm just going to be applying that to the tops of my cheekbones. Again, this is just going to help add some dimension to my face, make everything look very bright and glowy, but you just want to avoid the inner portion of your cheeks and just keep it on the outside. Now I'm using my Volition Beauty, this is the Oil Control Setting Spray, just to set everything in place. That's just going to make sure nothing budges and everything stays flawless. And this is the finished look. As you can see, I don't have any redness. Everything looks very even, and the color is where it's meant to be, on my cheekbones only and not all over my face.
One other last step I wanted to mention is the Colorescience Sunforgettable. This is a powder sunscreen. I talked about this in my last video, but this is just a brush-on sunscreen that you can use and you can reapply throughout the day. So it's really important just to make sure that you are protecting your skin from the sun, especially if you have any issues with rosacea, because it's going to keep it from getting more red throughout the day.
Don't forget to enter the giveaway if you want to win an All Calm for yourself. All you have to do is just subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below. You can say anything you'd like. You could leave me a question for my next Q&A. And then you can also get extra entries by following me on social media and sharing this video. I'll have those details down below, whether if you have Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can use any of those to get extra entries, and it definitely helps increase your chances of winning.
So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. Hopefully this helps you even out your skin tone. So I'd love to see your results if you decide to try it out. So make sure you tag me on Instagram at GlamYup. So I'll be sure to list all the products of where you can get them in the description box down below, and also in the blog post that goes with this video. If you head over to there, it'll have photos before and after and everything, and a list of all the products that I use to help you out. Be sure to check out my review video where you can see more in-depth description about how all of the Colorescience products work. So my mom is actually someone that struggles with legit rosacea, and she's always had it for a long time. She's a redhead, so I did a video with her a couple years back, so I'll be sure to link that down below if you want to see. I think it was called like Makeup for Mature Skin or something, so if you guys are older, that's definitely going to be helpful for you. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone.